What's up guys, welcome back to yet another vlog. I'm here by a certain house just near home, and we're about to see some certain projects here in Zambia that are very unique. And I have here the owner. I even failed to pronounce your name properly. I don't know if it's JQ? Jacob, okay.
Spell it different.
Yeah, so we have a Nissan Bluebird and a Fiat 127 that was actually assembled in Zambia. That's very cool. I don't know if you can see that. And I don't know if you can walk us through what you want to do to these cars.
For this one, we're thinking of going the full engine swap. Replacing, it had a CA18 initially from the factory, but we are going with something a bit more modern. Not too modern, but slightly more modern than the CA engine, an SR20. Though it's not complete, we still need to work on it.
I think that's the one thing that even impressed me was because I wouldn't, if someone sees this car and you hear SR20, automatically you think it's an updated car because when was this engine produced?
Was it between the 80s, late 80s and mid 90s almost.
Yeah. And you still have plans of turbo in it?
Possibly.
Okay, I'm really looking forward to that because I know these engines are very good, and I just hope you do it.
Yeah, definitely. Need to get at least a bit more power out of it.
Yeah. And for you guys that are thinking maybe these projects are just going to be sitting here, he did a couple of projects. What do you call it? The Subaru?
The Subaru J10.
Yeah, Subaru J10. So I have a video of it running and in its old state, and that's actually very amazing. Going to be going through the project with him and seeing how it will go from start to finish. Hopefully I can be there up to the finish.
So far we haven't done much necessarily. We took the interior out just to rewire everything, because when you go from the stock setup to the newer setup, there are obviously things you have to change. So the harness was replaced. It just has to be all arranged and set up, because we have to ditch, that was actually the factory ECU. Doesn't look like your modern day ECU. Take a look at it.
It honestly doesn't, because these days they're much bigger than that, huh?
Yeah, so we have to ditch that and get something a bit more modern in there. The fuel pump definitely is not in there because we have to get something a bit more high pressure.
Okay.
Yeah, the standard fuel pump cannot power the engine. It wouldn't work.
So with the harness, are you using the SR20 harness, or you are configuring that one just to run with this one?
We've actually done a bit of both. The standard harness and the SR20 harness, and merged the two.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, because the standard one did not have provision for the speedo. So you have to wire the speedo drive into the new cluster.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said this originally came, for those that don't actually know, these cars came with a CA1.8DE.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's putting in an SR20, which is very lovely. And I think that's the best part about that project that I actually love. Will you be doing any suspension work?
Yeah, a friend of mine recommended we drop it.
You drop it?
Yeah, I wanted to bag
lower
it. Wanted to bag it, but then it's going to be expensive. So I think we might just do something with the suspension that's already there, or possibly go with the coil overs to get it sitting lower.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a street cruiser.
I think one thing that we honestly don't see much is also bug cars in Zambia. I don't know if I've ever seen one.
The what?
Bug cars.
Oh, like the VWs and them?
Ah.
We actually have one in storage somewhere.
For real?
A 69 Baja bug.
Okay.
The one that had the fiberglass panels on the back end and the engine would stick out a bit.
Wow. I've never actually seen one. I actually got into an argument with some guy on Facebook because there was this Corolla, and I was like, okay, it looks nice, but it's not extraordinary because you see them every day, person doing the same kind of things, and that's why I'm even appreciating those kind of builds, because I don't know if there's anyone who even owns a Bluebird. Okay, maybe they are, but a few people are not doing such kind of projects, and for you to even be putting an SR20 in it is just out of this world.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do an engine swap project. It's just that initially funding didn't allow, since we're doing, budget builds.
Yeah.
Funding didn't allow. So initially with this one, this was actually the donor. Initially with this one, towards the end of the project, if you've met Scott from the Mod Kings, he was talking me into getting a 3S in there.
A very good guy. A 3S, that's 3S GT.
Yeah,
from the Alteza.
Gaudina.
Oh, Gaudina.
Yeah, he was talking me into getting that, and I was very close to getting it, but then I figured.
Well, but that would have taken a lot of work, wouldn't it? Because I mean, isn't the engine bay even too small for that? Well, it's a front wheel, is that?
It's front wheel drive, but funny thing people didn't know about these cars is, as tiny as they are, some of them were actually 4-wheel drive, so the body is provisioned for that.
Oh,
yeah. If you look at the Subaru, just the majority were 4-wheel drive. The ones that went to the US, then the ones we got here were the 4 doors with the front wheel drive setup.
Maybe now that we even though we haven't exhausted everything, I feel like we haven't. Yeah. What are your plans for this one?
For this one, we want to keep it stock. With all these, especially these ones that are not as available, you don't do too much to them.
Yeah, I'm sure the parts are. I don't know where you're even sourcing your parts from.
I learned one thing doing the last project. When you can't source them, you utilize. There's a lot of places locally. Places like the School of Engineering at the University of Zambia, and a lot of these, what do you call them? The companies like Matnaiwa within town, and you can have certain parts fabricated.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know that even works in Zambia, because I've always been intrigued with how the Americans are, mass producing parts that are not even made by car manufacturers or anything like that.
With the specs, you can have them re-manufactured.
I honestly can't wait to see how where you get with this and just see the end product. You'll be running stock engine as well?
Yeah, stock engine. We've just been trying to get it to fire up, but I think something is going off with the carb, because it will crank over, it will spark, but then it just gives us that blowback.
Okay.
So I think something must be wrong with it.
And maybe for you guys that, so this is an SR20 that you plan to overhaul?
Yeah, it's an SR20DE.
I honestly love these engines. I don't know why, but I just love them. Even though people say they don't have torque, I know they make a lot of power.
Interesting thing is that this was actually the same engine that came in Datsun 200SX.
Oh, the 200SX.
Yeah, the only difference being the transmission. But this is the very same engine you will get in a 200SX.
And this is a 4-speed, 5-speed?
5-speed manual.
And in these cars also, originally, the later models come with the SR20DE.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So it's just like updating it.
We're keeping with the power.
And how much do you want to make power-wise out of this?
I read in some places you can go as far as 300 horses. I'm not sure.
On the DE without the turbo?
With the turbo.
Oh, with the turbo.
Yeah, but then somebody advised me not to necessarily turbo it, but I've been seeing a few engines around and
reliability issues. But I think it would be nice, especially when you have this car. It's a show car, so not a drift car, and I feel like it will be nice, just like even if it's a show car, to have some kind of power levels that even other drift cars might have.
Yeah, because drifting it wouldn't really be possible, and I don't know, it's never been my type of thing. So even when I was picking this one out, I didn't really have any issue, because it's actually running a front wheel drive transmission.
Okay. Oh, this is front wheel drive transmission.
Yeah. Funny thing, these were actually the first front wheel drive cars.
Okay.
That they made. Previously they were doing rear wheel drive. You remember the Maxima?
Yes, that one I remember.
Yeah, this is actually a Maxima, except slightly underpowered. So if you look at the Maxima all the way going this side, it's the same car, but then they switched it up here and the transmission.
So, most important question now, why this car? Why these two cars actually?
Yeah, I've never really been into the newer models. I've always loved the older big sporty cars and basically just anything classic. So like with this one, the lines, the straight lines and everything, that's what spoke to me.
Yeah, I don't think you even see that mostly on these new cars.
You don't, and there's subtle touches that people don't see. A lot of these new cars don't have, you know, the old trim pieces that they used to add, the chrome trim pieces. Touches like these, you only see this in older cars.
And what would you say is the most special thing about this car?
About this one, I think it's, I don't even think you can pinpoint it. The overall design. Funny thing, this is a triple S. The triple S, if you've been around these for quite some time, you'll find stands for Super Sport Sedan.
Super Sport Sedan.
So
I actually also saw for that when I was searching it up on Google, it was like fast sedan. So that was that also like a sports kind of car?
according to Fiat, they say these were actually sporty.
Sporty,
Because
okay.
you actually get the rally version of these, I think. But then, I don't know, maybe it was sporty for the time. Because it actually runs a 0.9 liter engine.
That's small.
It is very small.
And I'm sure I was reading it says it used to make 40 horsepower. In today's standards, that's like nothing.
That's actually what made me want to get an engine swap there. Because that one was running 44.
44.
Yeah, we just had a lot of noise, so it was loud, but it wasn't fast.
Okay. And what wheels do you want to run on this one? This is normal stock or something nice?
Never stop. If I can find something wide, but I don't want BBS, as everyone has done BBS.
And that's the thing, like, okay, I don't know, maybe I don't want anyone watching this video to be like, no, you're talking crap about us, but I think it's true. Everyone is just trying to run the same wheel. It's like there's no difference and every car now looks the same.
Yeah, it's better, I find, better you get something that's, if possible, unbranded.
Yeah.
Just give it your own personal touch. You can always hit it with a different custom paint job.
Oh, what color do you want to go with? Same white?
I enjoy keeping them white, but
I also love white, honestly. I love white.
I might two-tone it. I might change this because this was actually very common to Japanese cars.
It has me thinking of the, I don't know, I've seen a trick people do with the E30s where you can actually push it in.
Yeah.
And what did you say the triple S stands for again?
Super Sport Sedan.
Super Sport Sedan.
Yeah, they combined a full sedan with this shorter chassis look to give it that sporty feel.
And the interior, any plans?
Yeah, definitely. The interior needs touches.
Bucket seats?
For the front, I need to go fully bucket it out. Because these are not going to do it. They're comfortable, but it's a timer, but we want to give it a young man's touch.
Yeah, I love the steering. It looks, and it looks racy.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Funny thing, this wasn't actually the original one.
It wasn't the original.
This came out of, I think it was a Primera.
Wow.
The whole idea was just to give it something different. But I want to see, when they do the seats, I want them to reupholster this.
And the interior is actually clean. I love, it doesn't look as bad as many.
I had taken all of this apart to clean it. That's why the seat actually isn't bolted in.
Okay.
I took it all out to clean it first week after I got it. So I did the seats, I did the panels. I have to pick up panels for the front.
And the dash?
The dash is in there. It needs some mending. It had this cool setup that was I think common to the 80s, where you see how you've got your check engine light and everything on the gate cluster. In this one, the original dash, the lights and everything were mounted towards the passenger side of the car.
Wow, I've never even seen that before.
So it used to give it this sort of space shuttle type look inside, because then when you turn it on, the lights flip on from that side.
But wow, this computer box is too small. I've never seen a computer box that small.
Yeah, that was injection in the 80s, because this was 87. Fun fact is these were only produced for like 2 years outside of Japan.
Wow.
After the 2 years were up, they quickly replaced it with a newer model, and these became rare.
Wow, the interior is just nice. I like it.
Yeah.
I haven't even asked if we can pop the hood.
Oh yeah, definitely. Though
It's
currently sitting empty.
super sports sedan.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's sitting empty. Just need to do a few touches here and there. I was actually trying to run the clutch cable from the inside to bring it out. Then we need to do some wiring here. So I need to fuse the original loom to the factory, the SR20 loom to the factory loom.
Wow, I can't wait.
One thing I always enjoy about these types of projects is at the end you can literally tell someone I've touched every single part of that car, because that's how it was with the Subaru. I actually got tricked by the person that was helping me into doing most of the work, because initially there was a point I remember I got to where I had sort of given too much control to everybody else.
That's you felt like you're not part of it.
Yeah, then he comes around and he tells me, for us to change, I think there was something we were supposed to change. It says you have to bring the dashboard out, so take it out, then I'll come back after it's out. And in the process of taking it out, I figured, I can fix this myself.
Yeah. Wow.
Fix whatever it was, put it back in. The days to come, I just figured I was going to take it from there.
We can do the same with that one?
Oh yeah. You just have to help me though, because we took it off its hinges. There's a mess in there. It's good. So for this one.
Oh, sorry.
It's alright.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's small.
Yeah. Small.
I've never seen a radiator that small.
For a small engine.
I don't even remember the last time I saw a carburetor.
They're fun to work with. If you set it up right, you take your cats out, you can get pops out of it.
It was actually this car in Kitwe that I really wanted to get. Just forgotten the name, but it has one of those nice Skyline RB20s that came with the carburetor, and it's just so nice. Unfortunately, I think it's still rotting over there.
That was was it the 30, 30 or R31? Which one was it?
It's not even a GTR. I don't know what it was called, but it was a Nissan. It also had a badge of GTR, but the name was not Skyline.
Yeah.
Wow, is that fun for the aircon?
Yeah. Actually, AC for the basically you just your cooling fan inside there.
Wow.
It's supposed to have a housing that goes down to there to also get the heating inside.
Wow. And what do you want to touch on the engine?
So far the starter was redone, but then this needs replacing. That's actually why we took that off.
Oh, you said this is running, huh? It's just
It's just
timing.
a few minor touches to get the engine going.
Okay.
Because this is actually another engine. The original one is at the back. This was something we found.
Wow.
Surprisingly, there's people that still have entire engines within here.
I think the best part about this car is that it's actually manufactured in Zambia. That's
There's actually another one in here.
it's so small you can fit it in your boots.
Yeah. It's I think they had the similar concept to the one on the Beetle. Because the Beetle initially had, I think, was it 4 bolts holding the
Three
engine
boats.
up. So you could drop the engine single-handedly
Wow.
and service it and everything, and then just put it back up into the car.
I think we've basically covered anything. If there's anything we missed and you feel like you needed to know, just make sure you comment below. Otherwise, that's the end of this video, and I just want to give a big thanks to Mr. Jacob for giving us this opportunity. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And we'll be checking in on him and just seeing how far the projects are coming along and see the end process. SR20 over there, very exciting. I'll come and buy it off you one day. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in the next vlog. Don't forget to like and subscribe.